Hey, my name is Jens, and together we will now build a REST API on top of an existing GraphQL API and expose it as a Postman collection. So let's get started. We're using wunderctl, so you can just yarn install that. Give me a second. So if you want to install it, yarn global add wundergraph / wunderctl. And then you can do wunderctl init. So that scaffolds a new project. And let's update this. And so the main config file for WunderGraph applications, that is wundergraph.config.ts. So we go in the WunderGraph directory and install the dependencies because our SDK is written in TypeScript. And then the way this works is, first step, we introspect a GraphQL API. So in this case, we're using the SpaceX API. And then we create a new application with SpaceX. So this is the default one, and we configure WunderGraph. And that's basically everything we need for the second. And then the second point of interest is you have the operations folder. So that's a convention by WunderGraph. So you must define your operations in this folder. So here we have the dragons query and a missions query. And now we're going to turn that into a RESTful or REST-ish API, if you want to say so. So we go wunderctl and then up. And that takes our configuration file, bundles everything, runs our local WunderGraph environment. And you can see the errors will now be gone. And everything should be up and running. So you can already see that here we have two operations. This is totally fine. And now WunderGraph has created a bunch of files. Amongst them a WunderGraph Postman JSON file. So the next step we can now do is we open this in Finder. And now we go to Postman and say import. We take our Postman collection that we just imported, that we just created. And now you can see we have, so for our dragons and missions operations, we now have endpoints created. So we can get the dragons and we can get the missions. And you see we're only getting the ID, so that's not that much information. So let's change that a bit. So maybe we want to have the name of the operation, and we want to have the manufacturers, and maybe the payloads. And for each payload, give me the ID, manufacturer, nationality maybe, and then the orbit. We save this, and you see the change is immediately picked up by wunderctl up. So the configs are rewritten. And now if we hit the button again, you can see that we're getting a whole lot more data. And one more thing. So you saw before that mission has a find object or a find variable. So this is mission find. And it takes an ID, manufacturer, name, and payload ID. So this way you could use inputs to define what kinds of missions you want to have. And so for this variable, we generated the input parameters. So if you would now like to find missions by name, we can now take the name, for example, Tycom. We paste this as an argument. You see we're building a query string, find.name Tycom. And now we're only getting this one mission. So if we remove that again, run it. You see all the missions. And now let's take another one. For example, this here. Find name, paste in this name. And now we have this mission here. Yeah, so this was everything I wanted to show. You can now take this Postman collection, share it with your colleagues. You can build a dedicated API on the fly for someone who's not familiar with GraphQL APIs. And you can also see that in some instances, you actually don't even want to expose all of your APIs. So you just want to give people access to some small sort of functionality. So this is a very convenient way to do this. You introspect an API. This could be a GraphQL API in this case, but we have other options too, like introspect GraphQL, MySQL, Postgres, OpenAPI, or Apollo Federation. So all those can be inputs to create APIs, and you're even able to combine multiple APIs into one single API. So yeah, that's everything I wanted to show. If you want to try it out, you can go yarn global add and then add WunderGraph / wunderctl, and then you do wunderctl init, and then you're essentially good to go. So yeah, just don't forget to install the dependencies and try it out. If you have any questions, I'm on Discord, wundergraph.com/discord, or just click the demo button on our website, wundergraph.com, and then we can have a chat together. All right, thanks for watching and see you soon.